Our topic for today is how to reprogram our subconscious mind. So, with Valley, our subconscious mind is here to teach us and tell us how to reprogram our subconscious mind. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, God, I beg. Thank you, guys, for the hearts me. I appreciate you all. And thank you for staying back, even with the whole back and forth setting. Hey, lovely Mary. Welcome in. Okay, with Valley, when you're ready, we are ready.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I turn off my camera?
I think you can leave it. Can leave it on.
Okay, let's continue. Please.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
can. You hear me? Okay, that's very good. So, like you said, the topic is how to reprogram your subconscious mind. I'm so much interested in this topic. I love learning about the mind. It's a most interesting topic for me, and I believe this is my personal opinion. I believe everyone, especially ladies, should learn something about their mind so that they can teach their children. Because for ladies, you're going to realize that most of the time, children spend most of the time with mothers, not with fathers. So I recommend at least every woman should know something about their conscious mind, because their mind, not just the conscious mind or subconscious mind, is very, very important, because everything we do, it is within the parameters of the mind. Everything, like I'm going to explain. So today we are going to talk. These are topics I'm going to cover, because I don't think I have much time. So I'm going to try to be as fast as possible. So at least most of the things will be covered, and the questions, you'll be asking some questions. So I'm going to create some distinction between the conscious and the subconscious mind to give you a clear picture of what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to give you like two advantages and disadvantages of each mind, the conscious and the subconscious mind, to make it very easy for you people to understand, for those of you who are not familiar with this topic. Then I'll also talk about, then that's when I'll go into reprogramming the subconscious mind. Reprogramming the subconscious mind, I'm going to talk about faith. You see, it is very interesting, because religious people think there is a way how they interpret the word faith. Faith has something very different. It actually has a different meaning, at least somehow different from the conventional meaning that is given in religious belief systems. So I'll be talking about that and explaining what it means in my opinion. Then I'll talk about, in reprogram the subconscious mind, I'll give two ways you can reprogram the subconscious mind. That's hypnosis, how to do self-hypnosis. Then the second one, how to reprogram your subconscious mind using the alarm on your phone. I think that's very interesting, because everyone has their phones and they have alarm. So you can do that and reprogram your subconscious mind. That's very, very interesting. So what is the subconscious mind? Okay, the subconscious mind is a mind that controls every activity in your life. It's the powerhouse of who you are. Okay, so I'm going to spend most of the time talking about that. But now let me give you a small distinction, the difference between the subconscious and the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is the mind that we use to make conscious decisions. Okay? Every one of us here has a goal in life. You have aspiration. You have the things that you're planning to do. All those things are done by your conscious mind. All the decisions that you make are done consciously. So it is this brain that is in front here, is called the prefrontal cortex, is the seat of your personal identity. Okay, and it is also a seat of your free will. It is the conscious mind. So these two minds, the conscious and the subconscious mind, work together, but they are very, very different, and they work differently. Okay, and they learn in different ways. So let me give you some advantages of your conscious mind. Okay. The advantage of the conscious mind is that it helps you to make decisions. Okay, it helps you to choose, to say that it gives you this idea of good and bad. Without the conscious mind, you wouldn't know good and bad. You would make decisions just like animals based on pressure and pain. So the conscious mind has given that advantage of choosing what is right. Doesn't matter if it gives you pleasure or not. Because, for example, you can see you love eating sugar, but sometimes you can reach a point where you can decide not to eat it because you know it is dangerous to your life. This is a conscious decision that you make. Animals cannot do that. If sugar kills, animals are going to die. If it kills and they're eating sugar, they have no option, they just have to die. But for you as a human being, the conscious mind gives you that ability to make a decision and stop eating. That's a conscious decision that you make. So let me also give you a disadvantage of your conscious mind. I'm going to be giving one because of that time. Now your conscious mind is the creative mind, but it also has disadvantages. And one of the most fundamental disadvantage is that it blocks some of the beliefs that you want to manifest. You see, your conscious mind is connected to the part of the brain that has cells. These cells are called the reticular activating system. They regulate the information that goes into your subconscious mind. So right now, if for example you say that I'm rich, the reticular activation system will know that you're lying. It will not accept that information in your subconscious mind. So it will not manifest. Most of the prayers that you pray are blocked by your conscious mind. They are not allowed to enter into your subconscious mind. And everything to manifest in your life, they have to go into your subconscious mind. In fact, your conscious mind is the male version of the mind. Is the male, the conscious mind. Then the subconscious mind is the female. This thing of good and bad, up and down, hot and cold, everything happens in duality. Also, our mind has duality. Okay, so it has a female and also a male. So when you have an idea, the conscious mind is going to get an idea and impregnate it into the subconscious mind. If the subconscious mind conceives, it has a gestation period when that idea will manifest and come into your life. Okay, but if the conscious mind is not open and does not believe it, it's not going to go into the subconscious mind. So your conscious mind will not impregnate the subconscious mind. That's a very interesting something to think about. Yes, that's the advantage of conscious and the subconscious. That's the disadvantage of the conscious mind. Now let me give you the advantage of the subconscious mind. Okay, the subconscious mind is so powerful. It does all the complex activities. It does all tremendous things. In the fact that tomorrow you're going to go to office driving a car is because of your subconscious mind. Because if you had no subconscious mind, tomorrow before you go to work, you are supposed to go to the driving school to learn how to drive again. Because the subconscious mind is the one that keeps the memories, the information, everything that you learn, and you learn how to do it properly, it is stored into your subconscious mind. When you learned how to walk as a child, you don't have to learn again. It is already stored within your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind stores all those information and start regulating it in different ways, very, very complex ways that you cannot even understand. Also, now the disadvantage of your subconscious mind, if your subconscious mind is very much interested in negativity. You see, because I think we are so much attracted to negative things because of our evolutionary memories. Most of our ancestors lived in a very difficult situation. So most of the memory that we have on an unconscious level are all so much associated with fight or flight. So we are always in that cycle. So that's why you see that the subconscious mind is very much interested in survival. Everything negative, it pays much attention because it has to know exactly what it is so that you can survive. Now, after giving you that, let me go direct to reprogramming your subconscious mind, because this is the main topic now. So, how do you reprogram your subconscious mind? Before I talk about that, let me talk about how prayers and witchcraft work. Okay, because these two also have something to do to do with subconscious mind. Most of the people, by the way, they don't understand this. Witchcraft and prayer are actually the same thing. It is like a coin, but two sides of the same coin. Okay, one is a positive intention, another one is a negative intention. Yeah? So don't stop this idea of thinking that a prayer is managed by another force and witchcraft is managed by another force. That's not true at all. It's very important to understand. Now, another thing I want to also talk about is faith. What is faith? Because you're going to find religious people explaining faith in a certain way, but faith is simply the veil between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. What do I mean by that? Right now, when you pray, there are some people who went through trauma when they're still young, and also there are some people who also get trauma when they are grown-ups. For example, you get into a car accident, that thing can cause trauma. But most of the traumas that we have, we get them when we are young, mistreatment from our teachers, our parents, and all that. So you construct all those. So those traumas, they create a very big, like they create a distinction between you and your subconscious mind. Okay, they create a very strong, a very big veil between your conscious mind or your conscious awareness and your subconscious mind. So every time when you have to pray or to send a signal to your subconscious mind, it will not penetrate your subconscious mind. So this veil between you, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind is going to regulate your prayers. If the veil is very big, if the traumas in between the two are very big, it is going to be very difficult for your prayer to penetrate. Okay? And if the veil is thin, you just say a word and it manifests. Why? Because when you say a word, it vibrates and causes the source, or what we call the superposition, or the universal energy to vibrate, and is the source. In fact, it is very interesting for people to understand that this physical reality that we live in is energy, and this energy, of course, is arranged and orchestrated in a way that is so accurate, is so intelligent, that when we see physical things, we think they are actually physical, but they are more than physical. I will not go into that, but I know some of you already know this. But that's what I wanted to create. I wanted you people to understand that what we call faith is a little bit different from what people think, the religious people think. Faith is the veil between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And you also have to understand that your prayer cannot, in my opinion, the prayer cannot manifest. You cannot contact, let me say it like this. You cannot contact God, or what we call the infinite intelligence, without going through your subconscious mind. It is through the subconscious mind that you attain enlightenment, or you get contact to your source, or to the higher power that we call God. Yeah? Okay, so now let me talk about reprogramming your subconscious mind using hypnosis. Hypnosis. Now, what is hypnosis? I know some of you already know what hypnosis is, but in simple terms, hypnosis is when your brain or your mind is vibrating at a very low frequency, or when your brain is highly suggestible. Like when everything that has been said goes directly into your subconscious mind uncensored. Okay? There is a time when your brain, and I'm going to be explaining that a little bit deeper, but hypnosis, for example, when a child is born in between 0 to 7 years, the brain of a child is in a state of hypnosis, or what we call theta brainwave. So that state is like everything that happens within the environment where the child is growing from is going to go into the subconscious mind of a child uncensored. Okay, everything is going to go without being cautioned, because it is your conscious mind that is going to caution things and doubt them and stop them from going to the subconscious mind. Remember, a child doesn't have a developed conscious mind. The prefrontal cortex is not yet developed. So everything that happens in the environment where a child is growing, it goes directly into the subconscious mind uncensored. So when it goes there, it starts constructing what we can call like an operating system. So when it reaches a certain age, like 8, this operation system is going to regulate most of the things that is going to believe going forward. So let me give you a simple example. Just imagine a child has grown through, in a family of Muslims, okay? Then at 9 years, they call him somewhere and finds a Christian boy. Then they have a discussion. Then the boy is talking about Jesus Christ. This one is talking about Nabi Muhammad. This one who talks, if I find them, for example, and I ask them a question, I say, tell me something that you know about Jesus Christ. This one who is a Christian is going to tell me that Jesus is a son of God, Jesus died for our sins. You know, it's going to tell me all those things that you know. But this one who grew up in a Muslim family is not going to penetrate the belief system you constructed as a child. Okay, that operating system is going to reject it automatically without even thinking about it, because it is not within that information, within the programs that have been programmed as a child. So understanding that fact, it is extremely important, especially for parents, for women. That's why I emphasize women to know these simple concepts so that you can help a child when he's growing up to put him or her in a very good environment so that they can know exactly the kind of information that are entering into their subconscious mind. That can help them to regulate the operating system. I don't know the best way of putting it. Let me use the word operating system because I know everyone is going to understand. I don't know what I should do, the right word I should use right now. So if you understand that, you know exactly what you're going to expose your child to, because that information is going to construct the operating system, and that information that a child gets when they're still in the hypnotic state is going to control how that person is going to live for their entire life. In fact, there are people called the Jesuits. I think you people know the Jesuits. Those people who, they are Christian scholars. They have a saying that give me a child before he's 8 and I will show you a man. What they mean by that is that when you get them a child in between 0 to 7 years, they can construct, they can reform that person, and they know exactly what kind of person is going to come. They knew that. In church, they knew exactly, and that's why they use that kind of information to regulate and program people and use them for anything they want. So that is hypnosis. So now let me talk about how to also reprogram your subconscious mind using your phone, using the alarm clock. This is a very, very interesting, something is very, very simple and extremely effective. You see, every single day we go through different cycles. Our brain goes through different cycles. Okay, the first cycle is called the beta brainwave. The second one is called the alpha brainwave. The third one is called the theta brainwave. Then there's also delta brainwave. And there's also another one known as gamma, but gamma is not well studied, so I'll be talking about these 4. There are 5, but I'm going to talk about the 4 that I understand. So the last one I will. So the first one is beta. Beta is when is classroom attention. For example, right now you're listening to me, your brainwave. If I could get a machine that measure the brainwave, it's called the EEG. There's also another one called the magnetoencephalography. It measures the electrical activity of the brain. So if I could get it and measure your brain, it's going to register beta at this level. Okay, so beta is classroom attention. So the second one is called alpha. Alpha is also semi-hypnosis. It has a semi-hypnotic effect. It is a relaxed state of mind. For example, when you sit down and read a captivating book and you get engrossed into the book, your brain drops into alpha. Also, when you're playing video games or you sit down and watching a movie or watching a TV, your brain drops into alpha brainwave. Then there's also what we call theta. Now, theta brainwave is equivalent to hypnosis. The child's brain, like I said, from 0 to 7 years is operating within theta brainwave. Okay, and this is the brainwave we are targeting. Okay, we are targeting. So that is the brain that we are targeting, theta brainwave. Now, when you're going to sleep and you set your alarm, let me first explain this. The last one, delta. Delta brainwave is deep sleep. Delta is just deep sleep when you're not aware of anything. Yeah? Can you hear me, guys? I don't know what happened. You can hear me?
Yes, I can. Angel was about to say don't put was it treasure box, and you did. Thank you. We can hear you.
Yes, I don't know what had happened. I think it's my network. Eh? So yes, so delta is deep sleep. Eh? Every time when you sleep peacefully and you wake up when you're very happy, just know you had a delta sleep. Okay, so when you're sleeping, when you, for example, if you have an alarm and you set it with an affirmation, you can get anything that you want. If for example, you have healthy problems, of course, you know what is disturbing. You program it in your phone. Okay, instead of listening those things that rings or what, you set something. You make your alarm talk, say something that you want, whether it's a prayer or an affirmation. So you set it for at a certain time. Okay, so when you're in a deep sleep, you're in delta. When you're in delta sleep, and your alarm plays, okay, remember when you're waking up, you're going to come from delta, and your brain goes into theta brain wave, and when it gets into theta brain wave, just know the alarm is playing information that is saying affirmations or prayers. So those prayers are going direct into your subconscious mind uncensored. Why? Because now your brain is in the hyper suggestible state. Like I said, theta brainwave is hyper suggestible. So every time when you come from delta and you drop into theta, your brain is open to everything, every information that comes in contact with your five senses. It goes into your subconscious mind uncensored. So you can take advantage of that and reprogram your phone so that it wakes you up. When you wake up from delta and go into theta, it is praying prayers, positive affirmations, and when it drops from theta to alpha, still remember alpha is semi-hypnotic, semi-hypnotic state. Then it's also the subconscious mind is recording. Just imagine if you do that every day. Okay, do that for a certain period of time. You're going to realize without knowing everything around you is going to change. So you have to be intentional. You have to use these gadgets that we have, technology, because it is very difficult to reprogram your subconscious mind. To consciously do that is not easy. Actually, I have a book. I wrote a book. This book here, those are some of the things I talk about. So you can use it. I've done incredible things using these simple things that I learned over time to make some differences. So these are some of the things I know people can apply. Very simple. You just reprogram once and you set at a certain time and it wakes you up when you're actually also reprogramming your subconscious mind. So you can ask some question. I see time is running, so let me give you time also for questions. I know some people have some questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was about saying that once it's 8 on the dot, you will give us room to ask you questions. I have questions though, so I don't know if anyone else have questions to add, so they can just kick off with that. Everyone, if anyone have questions, you can like unmute and ask your questions. Okay. Sorry. So my question has to do with the non-hypnosis way, or was it how to reprogram our subconscious mind? That's the mobile phone. You said we can reprogram our subconscious mind through hypnosis or the mobile device, right? So you were talking about the beta and was it alpha and beta, or sorry, I didn't get that. So you mentioned something about being in deep sleep. So when you are in deep sleep, you're subconscious at the time, right? And then you talked about there's this word you used, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you said the alarm clock wakes us up. So I've seen cases whereby maybe you've overstretched yourself the previous day or previous hours ago, and you're stressed out, you're burnt out. I don't know if you're still here or your network. If you can hear me, let me know so I can continue. Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now I've experienced cases whereby I set up my alarm clock and I sleep off. I'm recording. I set up my alarm clock and I sleep off with the hope that my alarm clock will wake me up the next day. Do you get? Because I've set it for a specific time. So because of the stress, because of the fatigue, I find myself that I've even slept off. The alarm will ring and might have even ring twice due to the zooming programming, and I will not wake up. Snoozing rather, not zooming. Do you get? So I want to know what causes that now, since you said that our mobile phone can help us reprogram our subconscious mind, because I've experienced cases whereby the alarm clock cannot even wake me up sometimes, and there's a pattern I have now. Before now, I had a sleep time. Once it's almost 9 p.m., I'm going off. You see me dozing already, regardless or no matter what I'm doing at the time. I will see myself drifting off already. So, but, and then when I sleep at that time, there's a specific time I wake up the next day. I don't use alarm clock. Do you get? And even if I don't sleep at that specific time, if I sleep maybe later than that, like I do these days, I find myself still waking up at that time. And except I try to force myself to go back to sleep, then the time start readjusting. That's my wake up time. So I want to know, like, what would you say in this scenario?
Okay, like you see, like my point was, if you're interested, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So if you're interested in reprogramming your subconscious mind using alarm, of course you can know, because you can set it. You can always set it at the time, around the time that you wake up. Okay, because you see, it is your subconscious mind that wakes you up. If you program, for example, you said you wake up at a certain time. You've been doing it for a certain period of time. So your subconscious mind, in fact, when you sleep now, you can try it. You people can try it today. You can speak to yourself. Okay, to yourself and tell yourself to wake up at exactly at this time. If you achieve, like if you convince your subconscious mind, if you talk to your subconscious mind and accepts it, it will wake you exactly at that time. Doesn't matter how deep you are in sleep, it will. I usually do that when I have I used to do that. Like you tell your subconscious mind to wake you at a certain time, because your subconscious mind, we don't know how to use it, but it's extremely intelligent and powerful. It can do anything that we tell it, but most people don't know that they can use it. They can use it for that. It's extremely powerful. So my main point was that if you're interested in reprogramming your subconscious mind, you can set it. If you know that you wake up at 7:30, you can set it at that very time, or even before that, a little bit before that, so that it plays. But also you have to understand that the subconscious mind doesn't care if you're awake or you're not awake. Your subconscious mind is always present. Even if someone says something, when you're in a deep sleep, when you don't know anything happening, if they put you into a hypnotic state or a regression, they can retrieve that information, because your subconscious mind is always recording. Is always recording, whether you're conscious or not, even if you're in a deep sleep. So what you have to do is just to make sure that in a certain when the brain is now in that wave, okay, it can record it. Because when you're waking up from delta, the subconscious mind is there, is operating, is working, but is highly impressionable, is highly suggestible when it is in that specific brain wave called the theta brain wave. Okay, but it's always recording everything. For example, right now, right now, if someone is bathing, so yeah, for example, when you're walking from from home, going to your office, everything that you see on the road and everything you don't see, your subconscious mind is picking that information. I read this before, but I don't know why it is going off. Can you hear me? Okay. Yes. So, like I was saying, if for example you're coming from your place of work, going home, your body, your subconscious mind records all that information. If you go to a professional hypnotist or a person who does regression, they can retrieve all that information, things that you saw and those that you did not see, because your body always recording information in different levels. But the ones that we want is the one that information that is picked within a specific frequency, okay, a specific band called theta brainwave. Okay, we have to take advantage of that because that's the one that we want. That's the one that is highly suggestible, that can come into areas that we want. Okay, if you get my point. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. I was expecting like maybe you will go further. But thank you, Shato. Like you maybe give a further description how the mobile device can actually reprogram our subconscious mind. Thank you, Shato, and congratulations on your level up. Do you get?
You want
Especially
me
when
to,
you went
to
when you went into faith. That's when I was thinking you will elaborate more on that.
faith?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like faith. What I meant by faith, in my opinion, faith is how should I put it? Faith, like I said, the faith is the difference between your conscious mind, the distance between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, or the call it a distance or the veil. When I say the veil, do you get it? Do you get the point when I say the veil?
Yes, the veil
Because
is just like something covering, like
exactly,
is something covering you from maybe moving to the next point or seeing the next point or
exactly,
option that is
exactly,
available. Yeah. Because
exactly,
if we want to go religiously in Christianity, what we want to define the word faith biblically, we say is the evidence of things not seen but hoped for. So you saying that veil, it clicks because when you were saying is the veil, I just quickly it clicked in my head with the definition biblically because it's the evidence of things we hope for but we've not seen. Evidence of things hoped for, not seen. Do you get? So that veil, yes, I get that part, but I thought you were going to like maybe elaborate further more, like maybe there were more to it. Sorry.
yes. So when you connect it with prayers, or now let me give you even a simple example, a small story that is something that happened to me as an individual. So I remember when I was still in high school, I was supposed to do my last paper, my final exams. I lost my calculator. I think they stole it. So I had to try as much as possible to get a what? To get a calculator because mine was stolen. So what happened? I I moved around, but fortunately, I found a boy who was actually selling a calculator. But now this calculator was a little bit different from mine. It was advanced. Remember, I was in high school. The other one was this kind of calculator they use at university, engineering students. So I bought it, but I didn't know how to use it. So I had to go to the science class to find people who have already used this calculator to help me teach me how to use it, how to operate it. So when I went, our science class was huge, very big. I moved around the class, okay, until I reached a certain boy who had seated somewhere. I don't know why I contacted this boy, but I went to this boy directly and I told him that, hey, I don't know this boy. So I told him that, could you be knowing how to use this calculator? When I saw the guy looking at my calculator with the interest, okay, then I eventually discovered that the guy who sold me this calculator actually stole it from this guy, this very guy. Okay, so when they stole the calculator from this guy, guys, can you hear me? I don't know what happened to this phone today. So when this guy saw the calculator, he started talking to me, said, where did you get me? This is my calculator, they stole it. And I said, don't disturb me. I moved away from him. Then he started following me up. He went using legal system of the school to get me, but I knew how to play around those things. So I managed to escape from that. But eventually this guy came back to me and told me that, no, let's leave those things. Please tell me, how did you get that calculator? Are you sure you bought that calculator from other people, or you stole it, or someone sold it to you? I asked him that, why are you asking me that? You're not supposed to ask me that. Then he told me, no, I'm asking you because I'm very curious. You see, they stole my calculator and I went to the witch doctor. Okay. When I went to the witch doctor told me that the person who has your calculator is going to walk up to you. So I was surprised when you actually walked up to me. That's the only thing that surprised me. So, of course, I never knew what I know now. So I was also scared. I said, okay, let me use this calculator. After, I'll give it back to you. Now I know it's yours, but let me first use it. I'll give it back to you. So now let me tell you something very interesting about faith. Okay, if you don't have what we call faith, if your veil, that thing that I call veil, is very big, doesn't matter where you go, whether you go to the pastor or the witch doctor, what you want will not manifest. But if your veil is thin, if you have faith, things will manifest in the way that you cannot logically explain. Because this pastor or a witch doctor, what they do is to contact your subconscious mind, is to plant an idea in your subconscious mind, and when it gets there, everything is done. The subconscious mind is going to take care of it in the way that you cannot explain with your logic. So everything that is planted on the subconscious level is going to manifest in the way that no logical expression can do. Okay, in the thing that we call miracles, what we call all those are things that are planted into your subconscious mind. Yes, miracles happen, but miracles can be explained even scientifically if you understand how the subconscious mind works. Because, for example, if you go to YouTube and Google, there are some people who do hypnotic shows. They can hypnotize you, and they make you forget your name. They can hypnotize you. They make you to not see some people in the room. They tell you that you go in. We are in the room like 10 people. Like one is Alex, another one is Hinex, another one is this. They tell you, then in subconscious mind, they clean up Hinex. They wake you up, they tell you, find Hinex in this room. The person is standing there, but you cannot see them because they have planted that in your subconscious mind. Other people may think you're crazy, but they have actually done something to your subconscious mind. And this also happens in my country. Young girls, especially girls who join campus, those freshers, there are some people who con them. Those people are people who have taken time to learn certain skills. They know how to hypnotize people. There are some games they play. I don't know if they play it in Nigeria. They tell you, they come and open up a conversation with you. They do what they give you something. They put it in your hand. Then they tell you that thing has entered your body and is moving in your body. If it reaches in your heart, you're going to die. So you develop fear. Actually, when you fear, you start feeling that moving in your body. You start feeling it. When you start feeling it, they tell you to go and bring this and bring this and bring this, and they steal everything that is belonging to you. They can sometimes even instruct you to go into the dormitory or into hostels and take other people's stuff. It has happened to many people. I don't know if it happens in Nigeria. So that is hypnosis. Yes, it is hypnosis. So when you're in that state, people can take advantage of that, but you can also take advantage of that. If you learn how these things work, you can take advantage of them. But if you don't know, it can be hideous.
So how does it work? How does hypnosis work?
Hypnosis, you have to understand that like it goes back to the nature, the fundamental nature of reality. Okay, this life that we see, this physical reality that we see, is actually constructed within, as within, so without. It is constructed within your subconscious mind and projected here. In fact,
Um,
can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Sorry.
The purpose
What
of
is it that the phone
the
is
purpose,
telling you? What is your phone? What is the error message is giving you?
it what? It shuts down, like it is
Okay,
a certain
so
point and it shuts the light. Not shutting down, but the light goes off.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that's what it does.
I
So
think it's
the
from your
purpose, the
timing.
main, yeah, I think it was the
Setting,
timing. I
screen
don't know how I
setting.
did it.
And you after the live, maybe
So
you check your phone screen setting.
yeah.
Okay.
So the fundamental purpose of your subconscious mind is to create a coherence. Okay, is to create a match between your beliefs and the life that you experience or your environment. The subconscious mind is going to make sure that the beliefs you have are going to match your environment. Change the beliefs, the environment will automatically change. And when you change the environment, the beliefs will slowly change. So it is going to make sure that it reflects your beliefs and you see everything that you believe to be true. So what hypnosis does, it puts new beliefs in your mind. Then the moment it is put, it is going to manifest in your life.
Okay. I have a question as regard hypnosis. When you made mention of the calculator incident, it reminded me of a similar case. I was smiling if you noticed. My first year in school and we were writing exams. Then that would be the first exam ever. So in my first experience. So I have my girlfriend at the time. We were just strolling down into campus. Then she was using a Nokia C3 and I was using an iPhone. So I have my phone in my bag and my house key, and I was using her phone to play music. Do you get? And we were just vibing, enjoying ourselves, sitting by the hallway, waiting for when it's time for us to go into the hall and get ready for our exams. Not knowing that some other guys who were already inside the hall, were already watching us. So immediately the lecturer walked in with the past questions and everything. So we followed him into the hall, and I just hung my bag on top of the. So while everyone was busy writing, I never knew that other people had other intentions in their heart. So even before we could finish, some people had already submitted their paper and left. In the process, they've already carried my bag. They didn't just even like say let them carry the whatever they want to steal. They took the whole bag. So at the end, when I was done, I started searching for my bag. I was looking for it, it's not there. Oh my, we cried. I cried so much. When the cry became worse was when we had trekked home to open the door and there was no key because he carried the whole bag that had all of our belongings. So out of the pains in my heart, one of my lodge mates, the guy decided that he knows someone who can actually, there's what we call 20 naira, or was it 15 naira? That's a Nigerian naira note. Is among the least denomination for now. So he told me that with just that 20 naira I can be able to like catch the thief also. I was prepared to go at any length to catch who had caused me this great thing. Sorry. So he told me that the next day we'll travel with him to a close by town where the said Baba, the spiritualist, is who can do this so-called stuff. So I was ready. My girlfriend too was all ready. So we're like, okay, the next day, let's go meet him and let's go together. So we're all going, getting to some point where we're supposed to board a bike that will take us to a the nearby village. Something just came to my heart. I'm like, you, because of a phone, you want to follow this person to go and destroy another person's life with just 20 naira. And I'm like, okay, in the process of going, if this guy has other intentions, because no one knows where we are going to, it's just I and my girlfriend and himself. We never told anyone that this is what we're going to do or not. So I was like, ever since I was born to this day, none of my parents had come to say, okay, they've gone to a witch doctor or an herbalist to seek for help or anything. So I'm like, I will not be the first. So that was where I stood. And the guy was like, come, let's go. I said, no, wait, I'm coming. I'm thinking. So I stood there processing and thinking in my head that I will not be the first to know the house of a witch doctor or an herbalist. And I cannot imagine destroying somebody's life as he has promised with just 20 naira because of a phone. I knew that the person who has stole my phone, we are all in the same department because it's a departmental exam and everyone on that all, we are all from the same department, even if we are from different classes. So I was like, one way or the other, I will catch the person who stole that phone because the phone is red. So I told him I'm not going again. So the guy was really angry, was furious that, oh, he had left all what he had to do and all of that. So getting on, my girlfriend was like, why did I have a change of mind? I'm like, I was scared. Because what if this guy has other intention and somebody who could destroy someone with 20 naira? What more can he do to you? Do you get this now? It got me thinking in my head because after then I was still thinking about the situation that if I had gone, would we have been able to like find a solution? Would we have really catch the person who actually stole the phone? So it kept ringing in my head, but today I wouldn't find that because I ended up not going. So you saying this now?
But you see,
I wanted to know how this worked because the witch doctor promised the guy that the person who stole his calculator will walk straight up to him. But you now, you walk straight up with his calculator. You weren't the one that stole the calculator actually, but you walk straight to him with the calculator. So this is making me like, how does this work? Because he never had any contact with you.
Yes, because you see, it is not. You see, this is how it works. Eh? This boy, those people. First of all, most of the people that we call witch doctors. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Most of those people, the spiritualists, they're actually even calling them witch doctor because witch has a negative association already. It has a negative connotation. But witch, okay, those medicine people, like those people, they know how things work. They understand reality, how reality works. So these people, they know exactly if they find you with faith, because everything that you believe to be true is going to become true in your life.
Oh.
Okay? Thing that you believe on a subconscious level to be true, it's going to become true. It's going to manifest in your life. Now, let me also give you another demonstration. Me, I've been, like, when I started doing research about the mind, I've been doing a lot of things I love to explore about the mind. I do some crazy meditation, I do this and that, So there is one time I was doing, for a certain period of time, I trained, reprogrammed my subconscious mind and convinced my subconscious mind that no one can steal from me. Anything that belongs to me, no one can take it away from me. If something belongs to me and I bought it with my money, no one can take it. It happens even right now. There's a time when we went to the beach with my boys. They open up the car and they stole phones, laptops. There was my laptop and there was also my friend's phone and another laptop. Okay, so they stole 2 laptops and 1 phone. Thieves, they broke up the door. So, but because me, I know they don't steal from me. Do you know what happened? I have that belief. I planted it in my mind. The moment I realized they had stolen these things, everyone, of course, reacted in different way. But me, I said to myself, I know this, that they cannot steal from me, and I will get my laptop. I don't know how I'll get it, but I'll get it. But sometimes that it depends where they store those things from. Sometimes the fear can override you. But if you can put yourself centered, you can make yourself centered and you develop that belief, and the belief overrides the fear, the laptop will always find a way to get to you. Do you know what happened? So this guy was selling the calculator. It so happened that a person, was selling the laptop. The guy who was selling the laptop, it so happened that he sold it to someone. When someone who knows me is near the laptop, when they opened, there were some pictures. Then someone saw my picture and said, hey, I'm seeing that, called me on phone and said, I can sell a laptop with your picture. I said, you get it, that's my laptop. Now that's one experience. I got it back. I told this guy, you see, may I got my laptop back. Then another time, I went up country. So I was sleeping in a certain hotel. So I went out. Moved on the street. There was a bar and what. I started sitting there and watching everyone moving. So I sat somewhere and my phone came out of the pocket and fell down. I actually saw it falling. But I don't know why I raised up. I didn't pick it up immediately. As I was standing, I actually forgot to pick it. I went back to my room. When I slept on a bed and I tried to get my phone, it wasn't there. I remembered that I left it to a place where it was very, very busy. I knew immediately I would not find it. And when I went there, I actually did not find it. I was scared because the place was so crazy busy. I knew it would be impossible to get it, but I said, I know I have my magic. It always works. So I went back to my room and I centered myself. I breathed in, out. I centered. I felt a certain state of mind. Then I started repeating to myself, I don't lose what belongs to me. I must get my phone back. After getting a certain feeling, I went back outside. I started moving around. Then a woman came to me and said, aren't you the guy who was sitting there? You left your phone down. The woman gave me my phone. She came, I was like, oh my God, these things work. They work. Now let me give you the last experience that I had.
Okay.
I want to show you the power of your subconscious mind if you know how to use it.
Okay.
There is one time I had very little change with me. So the next day was a Monday. So today it was a Sunday, the following day was a Monday. So I went to the supermarket to buy something. So when I went to buy something, I had to remain with some change. So I walked from the supermarket. As I was going, I found a lady who was selling corn. Okay? Was selling corn. So I wanted to buy some. I checked my pockets. The money wasn't there. The change and that money is the money I was supposed to use for transport going to work the following day. And also to leave some small money at home. I was so frustrated. But again, I remembered my magic. I said, I don't lose what belongs to me. Okay? So when that happened,
Today this phone will not allow you stream. Sorry about that.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I of course I got some fear, but when I remembered that yes, me I don't lose anything that belongs to me, I went I went back. I mean, I went to a place where there were no people, because where I was buying things were people, many people. So I walked somewhere and I reached a point. When I reached at that place, I centered myself. I centered myself. I put myself in a comfortable state. So I spoke to myself. Okay, I said, Julius, you cannot lose anything that belongs to you. So you must get back this money. That's the affirmation I use. Something crazy happened to me. Do you know what happened to me?
No.
Do you know what? It's very
No.
crazy. A voice spoke to me. A voice spoke to me like the way I'm talking to you right now. But I cannot tell if it was outside me or it was from me. But I think it was a very strong thought from me. But it was a voice told me that go back to the supermarket, just like that. Go back to the supermarket. And the voice, the way it spoke, it was so believable. Like the way it spoke, it like I did not feel any fear or any caution, if you know what I mean. I couldn't caution it. It was so true. I just walked back to the supermarket. The guy who was working on a counter spotted me from a distance, and smiled. When I went to him, I told him, I think I forgot my change. He said, yeah, I remember you gave me this money, and here is your change, without any caution. But I don't know if I left that money there or I dropped it. But the thing told me, go back to the supermarket. Now, if I was a born again, I would say, God spoke to me. No, it's not God. It is your subconscious mind.
Okay.
It is your subconscious mind that can always talk to you. Let me stop there.
All right. Thank you so much. So, in other words, you are telling us that how to make or how to reprogram our subconscious mind. It's by believing in ourselves and having a positive word of affirmations. Like that's what you're saying. Like you stated that you always tell yourself that you cannot lose whatever you bought with your money. So, and
No,
it has always worked for you.
yeah, it worked. It worked for me, but it's not simply believing in yourself. Reprogram
Okay.
yourself, like I said, most of your behaviors you
Yeah.
got them as an infant, in between 0 to 7 years. That is the period that you got the most fundamental behaviors. Okay, so everything that you learned within that period of time is right now controlling the things that you're accepting in your subconscious mind, but also things that you're learning. But it is happening on an unconscious level, you don't know. So that's why you have to use a certain techniques, some techniques like the hypnosis, so that you can do what you can uh, you can reprogram it, because your conscious mind will not accept anything that is contradicting the fundamental beliefs that you have. It will not. Your subconscious mind the conscious mind will always sabotage you. Okay, in fact, the reason why prayers work, why those
Yeah.
witchcraft things work, because
Mm-hmm.
they most of the time, like, to get that temporary reprogram of your subconscious mind because of fear or excitement. Because what fear does, that's why when you go to a witch doctor, they have to put through a process of fear. They have to tell you some things, they have to do certain activities, they have to do this, most of the things that are going to put you in the state of fear. What fear does, fear shuts down your thinking brain, it shuts down your prefrontal cortex, so that it can no longer caution things. Okay, so when fear lies, it's going to shut down your prefrontal cortex. When the prefrontal cortex shuts down, everything is going to go into the subconscious mind uncensored. Okay, so those are some of the techniques they do, but most of that information that enters your subconscious mind is temporary, doesn't stay there for long. So that's why you have to use certain techniques, like hypnosis, and you do it for a certain period of time so that it can stick, it can create strong neurological pathways in your brain, that is going to stay.
Okay. Claire Rapido says he has a question in the comments section. Okay, Moni. See you later. And Claire, if you can come up, but if you cannot, you can drop your question in the comment section. I've sent you a request. If it's your network that is not allowing you come up, please send a request so I can accept you. I'm sending you an invite rather. Hey Joe, I sent you an invite. Sorry I missed your invite. So you can come up or you type your question in the comment section if you don't want to come up. Claire, are you still here? Okay.
Let me ask one question. This subconscious mind that
Hello. Okay.
so does it mean that body tells don't work?
Does it mean that
Because
what?
most times most people get this body tell of okay, body tell. That's what we call we African, we Nigerians. That's what we call what we believe as body tell. Let's say, for instance, you are in an like in a space. Maybe you went to watch football in a rough area, and suddenly your something just stop you and say, "Leave this place." And
Yeah.
making you leave this place, making you leave that place, you see police
Something bad
coming in
happened.
like those periods when SARS will just come and raid a particular area. You get it has happened to me several times. I remember one time I went to watch a football match, JC Baka, like that. So it was almost first half, and something just said, "Guy, leave this place." You get like I don't know. I think it was just disturbing me. Immediately I left that place. It was not up to 5 minutes. Then my mom was like, I thought you went to watch football. I said, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable there. Not up to 5 minutes. These guys, anti-cultism, those guys on red cap, just invade the area. They arrested everybody. So sometimes I feel, yeah, some shows might work, but sometimes there's something that speaks to us. Like I feel like, okay, just move. Because me, see, I believe in that too. I believe in the supernatural. So yeah, so does it mean that that one don't exist? That is all about, it's all subconsciousness or what? That's my question.
Yes, it is a subconscious. It is a subconscious, and there are people. For example, when they are going to travel, and they get, for example, you're going to in a trip with a certain group, and something stops you, or you forget your phone, or you forget this and that, and you go back, they leave you. You hear that everyone died. Who was on that what? Who was on that trip? You're going to board a plane, then something happens, and you find yourself that other people who traveled, they actually got an accident. There are many, many, many instances that happen, and those things are not random. Some people may think it's random, it's a chance. No, it's not chance, because your subconscious mind is working with you, not against you. But your subconscious mind can also work against you. It can also work against you. There are some people who are accident prone, people who are, for them, they attract negative people, they attract non-committers. It is your subconscious mind that is creating that resonance. The subconscious mind does that. But if you learn to work together with your subconscious mind, sometimes the circumstances that you go through can help you to shape your subconscious mind, but also it can reprogram it negatively. You can, for example, be in a war zone. Because of the environment, your subconscious mind gets reprogrammed in a certain way, and sometimes you can be probably, living in a certain environment, and you find that because of that environment, you have unconsciously programmed your subconscious mind in a positive way. So yes, the subconscious mind does all those things, okay, but sometimes it may happen unconsciously, but you can also do it consciously. You can consciously reprogram those things.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Claire, you dropped right when we want to invite you in. Please come up in and ask your question. Sorry about that. It's Claire Rapido here. Oh, hello, Louis.
Hello, what's up?
Hello, welcome in.
Thank you.
Hello, Claire, can you come up? Can you send a request again so I can accept you, please? Sorry about that. I don't know if Claire Rapido is still here. He's still here. You can cancel the invitation, then send a request so that I can accept you in, because it seems as though your network will not allow you accept an invite except you send the request. Okay.
Next white, I'm here. Please greet me, ma.
Can you hear
Please
me?
stay muted. Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
Welcome in.
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Okay, let me just quickly ask the question I have in mind. Thank you very much
Okay.
for the beautiful lecture.
Oh.
But you keep mentioning prayer. If you are praying, who are you praying to? Are you praying to yourself, or who are you praying to? Let me just condense the questions and make it three. I don't know when my network will be bad. Like the first question, if you are
Okay.
praying, who are you praying to? Because you keep mentioning prayer. That one. Then in the place of mentioning God, you kind of substitute that word for the infinite intelligence. So does the infinite intelligence have rules? Because if we were all Christians, I would have said, okay, God, does the God have rules? So since you are the lecturer that we have for today, and you have addressed God as the infinite intelligence, so does this infinite intelligence have rules? That one, my second question. Then I don't know if I should wait for the answer before I ask the third one, or I should just ask it right away. Hello, I don't
If I
know.
forget, if I forget, you may ask it again, but you can ask.
Okay. The third one is you have talked about reprogramming the mind. Like, okay, anytime you lose something, you keep telling yourself, I cannot lose money or I cannot lose anything. Does that mean what of the persons that have said it over and over and what they said didn't come to pass? What's responsible for that? Like somebody can say, if sorry, if it works like that, probably I can just say, man, I'm going to be the president of this country. I'm going to be the president of this country. I'm going to be the president of this country. Then I'll become the president of this country. We have also seen situations where a particular lady, or not just a lady, somebody can be sick and the person is saying, I will not die of this thing. I'm too young to die. And at the end of the day, the person will still die. So I don't know if you have some explanations to that. Thank you.
Actually, let me start with that before I forget. That there are many people who actually say affirmation, but they don't manifest. That's very true. But like I said in the beginning, the reason why they don't manifest, it comes back to the veil between your conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Okay. For example, most of the people who don't manifest things are the people who went through tremendous traumas. Trauma is, I don't know how much I can talk about that, but trauma is extremely powerful. If you went through trauma, just to know you've created a defense, you've built a wall between your conscious and your subconscious mind. So to penetrate that, for your prayer or affirmation to penetrate that, it's a little bit tricky, very difficult. But people who grew up in soft life, people who grew up with love, because you have to understand love, okay? Not this intimate love, but love fundamentally is the force that dissolves all negativity. Love. And this, I don't know if some of you have ever noticed that when you're in love with someone, when you're making love, there's something that you can actually forget, and after making
When you're
love, then
making love or when you're in love, which one?
when you're making love, okay, when you're making love with someone, you
Okay.
can, do you know that you can do crazy things that you can eventually regret, okay? You can probably do this and kiss this person, probably the person don't want to kiss, but because of the love emotions, everything negative is going to dissolve. But the moment that subsides, then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. So love as an emotion is unifying. Okay, and of course you have heard people saying God is love. So answering that question is the reason why most people don't manifest it is still it is under this veil between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Okay, the veil is too big. You cannot pray and make the subconscious mind vibrate, because when the subconscious vibrates, it sends signals to what we call the infinite mind, or what we call God. So the second question was, does God have rules? That was the question. By rules, I don't know exactly what you mean, but of the universe, what we call God has universal laws. Okay, there are laws that we call universal. Okay, for example, the law of gravity, for example, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, all those laws are under the universe. Okay, these are not the laws of good or bad, or you are very prayerful person, or you're a negative person, or you're a killer. The universe doesn't play favorites. The universe only gives you who you are because you do based on who you are. The kind of life you express, that's exactly what is going to manifest. What you give out is what you get. This universe is tuned. It's like a frequency. It's like a vibrational frequency that if you tune in radio, Sanyu, when you tune in a certain frequency, you cannot listen to another channel. You only listen to what is you're tuning in. Other things are going to be oblivious to you. You only attract what you're tuning in. This universe is pure vibration. Okay, it's very, very important to understand. So yes, the universe has laws, but these laws are not emotional laws. The universe doesn't really care what you do. Like religious people think that God, when you do good things, when you do this, when you think like that, no. The universe cares about who you are. That's why some religious people say that God sees your heart, because it's the heart that sends out signals to the universe, and the universe responds. Okay, when you give out love, you're going to attract love. When you give up hate, you're going to attract hate. What you give is what you get. That's how the universe works. It works precisely within the parameters of law, those universal laws. Then the first question was, when you're praying, who do you pray to? Whom do you pray to? That's a very, very fascinating question. And that question is actually is a very deep question, but that comes to the question, who we are. Do you know who you are as an individual? You. When you're praying, you actually, let me put it in a simple way. I know the kind of people I'm talking to, they will get it, but that question, I usually answer it based on the kind of people I'm talking to. But I'm giving you the most fundamental answer, that when you're praying, you're actually praying to yourself, but to your higher self. Because we are God. I know this is weird to some people, but we are actually the manifestation of the universe. The universe, or God, is an infinite being. And that infinite being has an infinite ways of expressing itself. And one of those ways is you. Everything on this planet is an expression of that one infinite intelligence. Okay? So you, when you look into the mirror and you see a reflection of your body and you think that's who you are, you have a problem. This is your body. Yes, this is your body, and you have a mind, but what is that has the body and has the mind? It is the infinite spirit, but it is perceiving reality through a prism that has been built for a certain period of time through evolution, through different memories. It is the universe seeing through those prisms, that information that you've created for a certain period of time. So when you're praying, you're speaking, you're sending signals to your subconscious mind. Then the subconscious mind sends the signal to the higher mind so that you can get what you're sending out. Like I said, you get what you give. So you make sure you send a signal, then the universe brings back what in form of manifestation. If you're getting my point clear.
Yes. Claire, are you clear with that?
Yes.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense. Yes.
If you can follow up.
You can bring a follow-up question.
Well, okay. I should ask a question.
If you are not clear, you can seek more clarity. If you have more questions, you can ask.
Okay, you said if we give out love, we'll get love in return. If we give out hate, we'll get hate in return. But there are some
Yeah.
people that give out hate, but they get love in return. I don't know if there's an explanation for that. Or most persons give out love, then they get hate in return. So what controls
Because
that exchange?
because it is also going to depend on your definition of love. Because love, like the kind of love I'm talking about right now, you have to understand there are two primary emotions in the universe. There are only two primary emotions. That is love and fear. All other emotions come from these two emotions. Let me give you an example of jealousy. Jealousy, for example, you love someone, you have love for someone, okay? So now you see this person you love going out with another person, yeah? So you develop fear of losing that person. So you can see love is mixed with the emotion of fear to create a cocktail of emotion that we call jealousy. Jealousy is not fear, is not love, but is in between the spectrum of fear, love. It's going to appear somewhere on the fear love spectrum, and all other emotions, they're in between those two. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, yes. So now we can experience what we think is actually love when it's not pure love, when it's not love, when it's jealousy. Jealousy is not love. Because you have jealousy for someone, you think you love someone so much. No, that's not love. Love is pure without negative emotions. But when love is mixed with the fear, it creates another form of emotions. If you get my point, eh? So love
Yes.
and fear, other emotions are in between the two. It creates a spectrum of emotions. So if you can attain pure love, you'll get pure love. But if you get these emotions which are mixed with other emotions, those are exactly what you're going to get, and that may not be what exactly you want.
So, in other words, you're saying that if we give out love, if we really, really love, we'll get love in return.
Exactly, because you
My
see,
brother,
like,
I don't know which one are they get. That is why they ask now, brother.
yes,
Because I
yes,
feel like I'm
yes,
giving out love, but I'm not
because
getting enough love.
you
So
see,
the kind of
because
love that you
most
have been giving out is being judged right now.
The kind of love, yeah,
because
exactly. So I've not been giving
yes,
out pure love. That's what it means. Let me go and learn
exactly.
how
So
to give out pure love.
it's not pure love. It's not pure love, and many people think, because let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
When I marry someone,
Yeah.
okay, and I'm afraid for someone to steal my wife because I think I love her so much,
Mm-hmm.
then that is not love. Love turns into, sorry.
Okay. Um, so,
Can you hear me?
yes, we value, well, if you can round up in maybe like 2 minutes so we can introduce some new faces we are seeing in the box. Thank you.
Yes, like I'm saying, if for example I marry a very beautiful wife, and I
Yeah.
love this woman so much, I start developing fear that I'm going to lose this person. It ceases to be love and it becomes possession or obsession. So that's not love. You think you love someone, but what you're actually giving is obsession or fear. And the other person is going to give that in return. The universe is going to give you that in return. And you think, I'm giving out love, but I'm giving because you don't know exactly what you're giving out. If you
Okay.
dig deeper,
Okay, so let's not even dwell into relationship kind of love. Let's talk about our environment, your neighbors, your workplace, your colleagues. You could have you've been perceiving yourself as someone who is very kind, and you've been relating to them or with them in a kind way, but you're not getting back that kind of gesture you've been giving out. So, how would you classify such? Would
now
you say,
that's a
okay?
very good example. Now let me give you. There is a friend of mine. Actually, she was my ex-girlfriend. She had a problem. I call it a problem. Why? Because every time there are some people who are brought up with very low self-love. They don't love themselves. So for them to feel loved, they try so much to buy love. How do they buy love? They give out gifts. they give out things so that they're expecting to be loved back. And sometimes because when you give out something to get love, you're not giving love. When you try to buy, because you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to give love. Because you can't give love, you're going to try to buy love. Okay? You want to give gifts, you want to give this and that. So whatever that you're going to get in return is not love, because you have not given love in the first place. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So the main the main reason is we don't know what we are giving out, and we think we are giving out love, and in return we get something you don't understand. And of course, what you will get in return is what you give out, because the universe cannot miss, doesn't lie. To always 100% give you what you give.
Wow. So Claire Rapido, Angel,
If
Shato,
you
Alex,
if you
God
want
Adapt,
money, try to give
Louis.
out as more money as possible. If you want to get money, someone saying he wants money.
So if I want to get more money, I should give out more money.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So thank you so much, Wade Valley. I
I
really
have
enjoyed
been
it.
like, I'm afraid. It's like fear to get married, not just for if you gonna get your wife taken, right? My question should be like, what if I'm afraid to get married because of my goods? I don't want my goods to be taken, like the things that I have worked, um, that's my fear, to to get married and then get divorced and lose my house and lose my everything. That's my fear.
Now, you have to get rid of that fear, because if you don't, you're going to be astonished that you're going to attract someone who is vibrating at that frequency. You're always going to attract people within that range. Because let me tell you something. When a person who's afraid of thieves is a person who attracts thieves. Because you see, the law of attraction says that you attract who you are. But if you're not a thief, you can attract a thief. It is the law. The way most of the people don't understand how the law of attraction works. Let me give you an example. If you're selling, for example, you're selling phones, okay? You're selling a phone. You're not going to attract people who are selling phones. You're going to attract people who are buying phones. Okay?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
So if you're afraid, if you have things and you fear someone, you must attract a person who is vibrating at the same frequency. The person who is in a lack state, a person who doesn't have those things, and a person who wants those things. That's exactly what you're going to attract.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying that if I'm afraid that when I end up getting married, I might end up getting married to a man who probably will fall out of love with me in the long run. Huh? And if I eventually get married, such thing might happen to me. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. This law is very, very interesting, and me, I'm very fortunate that I've been into this state. Let me give you
Anyways,
a
anyways,
very
Wheat
Wait,
Valley, Wheat
let
Valley,
me
I
ask
have
a
said that.
question.
Okay, you ask your question. Angel and Alex, see you say you want to ask a question. I've said, and
Please
I
let me,
continue to say this, that I am getting married to the youngest Nigerian president. And if I don't get married to the youngest Nigerian president, Wheat Valley, I am coming for you.
now
Because
you
the
have to
law doesn't work
you have to
now.
think. You have to think about the veil, your veil. You have to think about your veil between your conscious and subconscious mind.
I've removed
You
the
have to
veil. There's
you
no
have to
more veil.
dissolve. You have to
There's no
dissolve
more
that
veil.
veil.
Okay,
please,
so
let me ask my
Alex
question
said,
before I go.
oh, okay,
Okay.
Angel.
Okay, sorry. Weeks Valley, you said by what you were saying just now that you, the universe doesn't lie. So whatever you give out is what you get, right? I want to
Yes.
take it to the scenario of Job in the Bible, right? I believe we all know the scenario of Job in the Bible.
I'm not sure which Valley is not religious. I don't know about who is religious.
I mean, I have read the
Oh,
Bible and everything, but I just believe in a higher
Next,
power. That's all.
you can,
Okay.
Next, you can explain better because I actually want to do something before I go off. But
Okay, tell me.
the scenario of Job in the Bible where
Yeah.
the devil was allowed to tempt him and those things happened to him.
Yeah.
Does that mean that's what he was giving out? Or that thing happened to him because that's what he was giving out and the universe now gave it back to him? Because if we are going with the story in the Bible, God allowed that to happen to
Um,
him.
Okay,
So
if I'm to answer that, the story of Job is an example for us to learn from, according to the Bible. Do you get? So now, God allowed that to happen because the devil was challenging one of his followers. Do you get? It's just like we all on the box now. We are a team. And maybe with Valley is saying that he has so much trust on Angel Rose. He knows what Angel Rose can do and he knows what Angel Rose cannot do. Do you get? Because of how much he has known you and how much trust he has in you. And Lewis now is telling with Valley, okay, if you have so much trust in Angel Rose, can I put Angel Rose to test? To see if this trust you have for her is actually true. Do you get? Maybe with value holds you in high esteem, but Lewis is doubting that.
My thing is like of what I have seen around my family circle, about my friends circle as well, about
Yeah,
how in my country things, um, are right now. Um, Most of the people they just want to they see marriage as a way of take advantage of you or anything else. Most likely right now, people doesn't well, the people that I know and everything, even my mom being a woman, she lost everything on her second marriage. So I have seen many things that maybe it's because of that. It's not because I have lived that. It's because have seen, things like that. And I don't want to be in that position because I have seen how my family have suffered, or some close friends have suffered about that. And I'm a person who uh, always are away. I'm away always from problems, negative stuff. So I believe that someday, the destiny, or I don't know what force, will put the correct person on my path. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't get married because it's something that is, I believe, is beautiful. When you find the correct person and everything. But um, by the moment, I'm just saying that I'm afraid to be on my knees and ask for a girl, hey, do you want to marry me? Because I think that maybe I need to learn a few things, on the way, and to discuss this kind of topics with people, and try to hear different type of views, and get the help, because I know that you can, by talking, you can help and also receive help.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Louise, and thank you for joining. It's my first time seeing you on my live, and I was about introducing you and my sister. She was there a moment ago because she's also very new to understanding TikTok as it works, but she's dropped off the box and she's no longer here. So, welcoming I can see from your name you're Louis Vuitton. Are you the actual Louis
Oh,
Vuitton? Oh, just
no, my friend just called me like that. I don't have any piece of bouton on me, so it's
okay, nice.
expensive. No, I
Okay,
cannot.
nice to meet you.
Okay.
Okay, today what we're talking about was reprogramming our subconscious mind, and I will conclude with a statement. And hopefully, when you join us often, we do this weekly every Thursday from
Oh,
7
okay.
p.m. We do discuss issues that centers around life daily events and how it affects us, including marriage, relationship, work, and everything about life. Do you get? So as you come back, if you have topic for discourse, you can actually share with us, and we'll bring it up open in the house. Everybody will discuss and give their own fair share about their understanding so far about it. Do you get? So right now, Alex is saying that he has a question. So
Yeah.
let's just take Alex's question and see if probably his question being answered might even help us in understanding the topic today. So Alex, please go on. We have like 4 minutes to go, please.
And thank you, Miss Valley, for your answer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your help.
Thank you for coming up. Alex, we're here. We're
Hi
here.
guys. Thank you very much.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Good value. How you doing now?
I'm doing okay, boy. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Alright. So very quickly, my question is: would you say there are limitations to one's ability to change?
Sorry, Alex, your volume is very low. I can
Is
barely hear what you're saying. I don't know if you can hear him with Valley, but
it
you need
better?
to
Is
speak
it
up
better
so we
now?
can get your question clearly. Huh? Thank you so much.
Is it better now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So my question is: would you say that there are limitations to one's ability to reprogram their subconscious? What do I mean? Um, take somebody like okay, let's say a psychopath, for example. Take somebody who's a psychopath. They are born the way they are, and for the most part, right, no matter how much they desire to be empathetic or to change their behavior, to try and be more to feel what people are feeling, to be more empathetic, no matter how much they try, we all know that it's impossible for them to have feelings or show feelings of empathy because of their biology, right? So this to me looks like a limitation to biology. Looks like a limitation to one's ability to reprogram behavior or change behavior, right? So to you now, I want to ask you, what do you are there limitations? Do you think this is a limit? Do you think biology is a limitation, or do you think there are no limitations, or do you think biology can be overcome by willpower?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for that question. Yeah. Of course there are limitations, but I don't think the limitations are biological. In my opinion, I think all the limitations are psychological. Okay, because it is the psychology or it is the energy that manifests physicality. It is not the other way around. So because we know there are some techniques that can be done to do what they call neuroplasticity, to develop some new neural pathways in the brain, okay, which can change, okay, your brain, the physical nature of the brain. So limitations, in my perception, I think it comes, like I said right from the beginning, the limitation comes through the veil, that distance between your conscious and your subconscious mind. Okay, that is the limitation. And of course, when you're in the process of reprogramming your subconscious mind, it's going to also depend on the kind of the person you are and the kind of program that you're using to reprogram. For example, when, for example, you go to a hospital and someone says, boo, you have cancer. Just one statement can reprogram your subconscious mind, and you immediately manifest it, the process, the symptoms of cancer. That is also reprogrammed, but a negative reprogramming. There are people who go to hospitals and they are, by mistake, they are misdiagnosed by diseases like HIV. They don't have it, but the doctor says you have it. By placebo, they immediately manifest it. Okay, but now if you're going to reprogram your subconscious mind, maybe to become wealthy, maybe to get rid of a certain ailment, it can take a little bit of time, you know. But again, also when you find the right person or a right instructor, they can help you. It is going to take time based on the person you work with and also what is said, what it means to you. Okay, because also something that I think we have to realize, what we have to understand is that most of the people who get, for example, what they call spontaneous remission, people who get like those, what we call like miracles, using a religious language, miracles, are the people who are ready to manifest, who are ready to get that manifestation in their life. Because right now, I might talk to you, Alex, giving you this information right here. When you have a brother who is sick, probably suffering from something I'm talking about right now, and you're asking me, how can I help my brother? You see, unless your brother is ready, it may not work for him. Like, he has to be open. Openness means that now the veil is dissolving, is very receptive, so to speak. So there are many different things that can always counter the process of manifestation, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying basically that it is psychically possible to manipulate your biology to suit your preferences. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You can manipulate it because, like I said, sometime back, I don't know if you were on, I said the purpose of your mind, the most fundamental purpose of your subconscious mind is to create a coherence, to create a match between your beliefs and the environment you experience, or the life you experience. It has to make sure that your belief system are going to be manifested in your world. So you change your beliefs, the environment will automatically change. And if you change the environment, also the belief system will slowly change. But the most important thing is to understand that the mind is like, your environment is a reflection of your subconscious mind, of your beliefs in your subconscious mind. If you could get a picture and if you could get a camera that takes pictures of your mind and you compare it with your environment, you wouldn't see any difference at all. So the moment you plant a belief in your mind and you succeed at planting it on the subconscious level, it will automatically manifest in your life. Whether it is in your body.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just say my observation very quickly. Yes.
Okay.
To a very good extent, I agree with you that it's possible to maybe psychically manipulate your circumstances, because those things have worked for me in the past. Actually, I've had certain things around my body, you know, and I've willed it, if I put it like that, willed those things to leave. You get, like, maybe some situation, maybe a pain or something, you know, or healing, you know, I've willed, in quotes, those things to happen, or some negative things to go away. But in terms of behavior, right, personally, I cite that there might possibly be a more, if I use the word, larger obstacle, because, for example, now, for you to change, let's say some people have the ability to secrete, let's say, more adrenaline than normal, than the average person. You know, then we imagine that this person is going to be hyper, right? It's going to be hyper all the time. You know, but for this person's personality to change, just like the psychopath example I gave, you have to develop a new from frontal cortex, or the adrenaline secretion has to lower. You get. So I think that this, for me, based on my own observation, I think those are greater, especially when it comes to behavior. Those that might be greater obstacles to overcome in terms of willpower and trying to
Yes.
change or modify your behavior. That's just my observation.
I think next time I think we should talk about free will. I think it will be a very suitable topic also. Free will, where
We should.
everyone will talk about it. It's very interesting because it relates to what Alex is saying. You see, Alex, what you're talking about is true. What you're saying is true, but we have also to understand that the environment where we grew up, because our behaviors are expression of the environment. If in your environment there are no people who can fly, don't think you will fly. You cannot. And if we had people who fly, it will be automatically for everyone to fly. So right now, in our African understanding, sometime back, it was very okay, it was believable that a person can be healed remotely. But if you go in modern places, they don't believe it, and that it does not manifest. Because on the collective level, it is not accepted. So on the subconscious level, it's not going to manifest. So everything that is not acceptable in a society, okay? Because like I said, it is in the mind, something that is not believed on the subconscious level is not going to manifest. So all the manifestation I'm talking about, they are based on the beliefs in your subconscious mind. And I'm not saying consciously, but unconsciously, because most of these beliefs are unconscious. They happen on an unconscious level. Not because there are some beliefs that we have on a conscious level, and we think, why I believe this? Why is it on my... No. The conscious belief and the subconscious belief, those are different beliefs now. I'm talking about the subconscious beliefs. So most of the things they believe on the collective level, they affect people, but things people don't believe, you're not going to see it happening in that environment or in that society or in that community. So most of the things that you're talking about, there are very few people who can actually manifest it. Why? Because it is not visible anywhere. No one believes it, and it's not going to happen that way.
Okay, and thank you so much, With Valley. Thank you, Alex. God, I beg. I don't know if you still have your submission, or we should all wait until next week, because as you can see, we are way past our time. So next week we'll continue this discussion and also
He has a submission. Let him submit for some few minutes.
Sure. Okay. Okay, please, let's hear your submission, please, so we can round up with that. Oh, Louis Vuitton has
Okay,
dropped.
sorry.
Okay. Yes,
Please,
please go.
after my submission, maybe we can continue with it next week.
Yeah.
At least that will give us an intro to next week. So here's my submission. Yes, I truly believe and understand what Vid Valley is talking about. But here's another perspective which I want you to see. First of all, I dropped that line: truth and values are relative to place, time, and circumstance. That sentence alone means that everything depends on so many other different things that are not dependent on themselves. So if you should want to hold on to an action being dependent on just one action that was done, I want to believe is not totally right. So, but here's the practical scenario where I wanted to make reference to, is in planting. Most of us know about planting. Let me use something that is common. So if you take a grain now of any seed and you plant it in a soil, you are expected to harvest something, right? Is either you harvest something bountifully, or for any reason the grain doesn't grow up. So with that, can you hold the grain for the result you get? You can't do that. But there are so many consequences that will influence that grain from growing up to either producing very well or not even growing up to reach the point of yielding any fruit. It could be manure, it could be there is no sunshine, it could be there is no water. And all these three things I just mentioned, manure, water, sunlight, they're independent on themselves. You can have one and may not have the other one, but it will still influence the outcome. So with this, practically, you cannot actually hold that grain that maybe the grain was bad or it has bad potential. That is why it did not yield that the fruit you expected. And if you want to go back to the person that planted it, the person that planted it doesn't really affect how it will yield, because it's actually going to yield something based on the circumstance of the environment in which that grain was planted, because that grain actually needs certain thing for it to produce well. So if those specific requirements were not met, which is not just one, yeah, because there are so many different, I just mentioned three. So as far as those three basic things are not met, there is no magic, even if it is a Elon Musk that plants it. If those basic requirements are not met, it's not going to yield out fruit. So based on this, to a certain extent, yes, I agree totally that you get what you give. But as far as you're talking about getting what you give, there are so many other factors that are not even related to you. It could be your environment that you are, it could be the circumstance that you are that will affect what you get. And sometimes it will affect what you give. Because I remember he was talking about losing phone or losing your property. You know there's an environment you'll be. You cannot boast of that. Because even yourself, you can lose yourself in that very environment based on where you find yourself. But there's a place you'll be in. You'll be so confident in saying such, and you will stick to it, and truly it will happen to you. So it doesn't mean that maybe you don't know how to say it or you could not say it right, but the other circumstance that influences even what you say, how you even say it. So that's my point. So please, Index, maybe we can still continue next week,
Yeah.
assuming so many people are leaving us. Yeah, but
Yes.
that's just my submission, actually.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
Sorry, it's
submission.
for you. Sorry, it's for
Thank you
you.
so much, Wheat Valley, for taking out your time to walk us through the subconscious mind. I really love and enjoyed today's section in particular. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Shato, for always staying back until the last minute. I really appreciate, and everyone who has left because they have other places to run off to. I thank you so much, and I appreciate your presence, sir. You are truly loved. Thank you. Next week, thank you so much, Shato. Thank you. Next week, I wanted us to talk about leaving a legacy behind. That was leaving a legacy behind for our offsprings. Do you get? So I wanted us to talk about it, and but seeing how this conversation has gone, I don't know how we can incorporate that to maybe round up, to finish up before we move on to some other topics. So let's see next week when we come, with Valley will continue, because I know Claire Rapido had a lot of submission and questions, but see his network wasn't stable enough for him to even stay up to the end. I can see him trying to come in and out of the live session, but the network is not allowing him. And then Alex, you talked about, there was something you talked about, and which Valley said is in relation to what you are asking. So next week we'll try to round it up, roll it all up, and come to a concluding part. Do we agree with that? Huh? With Valley, will you be available for us still next week? You will. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So next week we'll come. Next week we'll come to have a concluding part of this discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shato. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate you all, and you are deeply and dearly loved by me. Thank you. So at this junction, we say bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. See you next week.